Okay. Hi all, my name is John White. I'm right here representing the No Name Club in Tubbercurry. It was set up about 16 years ago, and we would have about from 20 to 30 members every year. Now they would consist of students from the local St. Attractive school. Now there would be mostly transition years, a few from 5th year, but no leaving certs. Thursday night from 8:30 to 10 o'clock every night. Activities we would do at the club would be, we'd have a pizza night, we would have first aid, we'd have makeup classes, self-defense, talk on the mobile use in relation to sending abusive messages or taking abusive photographs, and the implications of that in later life, what can happen here, because young people think that when you delete these that they're gone, but they're not actually. They're up there, and they could come back to haunt you in maybe 10 or 12 years time when you're working for some company, and because of what you have done in your teens, you might lose your job. So a lot of them, 90% of the kids don't realize that. Now we would also have kettlebell fitness classes that could go on for 5 to 6 nights. And that would be approximately around 40 to 45 minutes because of the location where we are in the Family Resource Centre. The room is small enough and it'd be very warm, so you couldn't do it for an hour. We would also have yoga classes, Pilates, and sometimes we play cards or play board games, because a lot of these classes last for maybe 40-45 minutes, so we still have another 45 minutes. So the kids sit around and play these different games, and sometimes some of them don't. They just sit and have a chat and have a chill out. Now we don't allow them to use the mobile phones. That's a non-runner, because we found for a number of years that the members were using the phones and were sitting in groups of 4 and 5, and there was no communication. They were communicating with people outside. Well, why did they come into the club in the first place if they're communicating with somebody outside? So the whole thing about the club is to come and you can sit around and have a chat. Now, for the last number of years, we had mostly girls, and a couple of years we had a good few fellas in it, but we found it's mostly girls to come. So maybe where we were falling down was we weren't going into the school to promote it as leaders, whereby we're allowing for them to spread the word themselves in the school. Like a lot of them would know, oh yeah, a lot of them would have been in Frogia in Tubbercurry, so that's from 1st year up to 3rd year, then they move on then to the No Name Club, follow on from that. So now in relation to fundraising, we'd have a hamper at Easter and Christmas, and that would raise some funds. We'd also get a grant from the county council. Now the members would bake cakes and buns at home and take it into school and sell it to the fellow students and the teachers. We'd have a church cake collection in Tubbercurry and Clunacool. Now we're hoping to get other volunteers from other parishes around the area, because we find that we can't really go to those churches because we're not from there. And if we had volunteers from that area, we could also do fundraising in that area. There's where we're falling down, and like at most church gate collections we could get from 250 to 300 euros. So we could go to 3 other churches. 300 euros is a lot, multiplied by 3, it's 1,000 euros, which could give you you could wait for a night or somewhere, you know. Now other ones where we had face painting at the Old Fair Day. Now this was a great chance of exposure to the community and what we were about. We're raising funds, but we're also in exposure to what we do at the club and what the kids benefit, and have the chat with people, because some parents, but actually we would be talking to the members, and they'd be telling them what to do, because they could have younger kids in Froga and they really know, well, maybe this could be good for Johnny and Mary to join the No Name Club when they finish. Now we'd also have a raffle through the year, and also have a quiz night. Quiz night is very good, very popular. We could raise up to 1,000 to 1,200 euros. Now we did that one night out in Brennan's in Clunacool. I was successful because we needed the money, because we were going to the Alton Centre in Wales. And that was a 24-hour trip, round trip, and they really enjoyed it. Now we bring Galler House up, members, clients from the Galler House up 2 nights of the year, 3 nights of the year. We have a bingo night for them, and the great exposure for the students to be exposed to people with special needs, because some of them might never have that chance, and it's great, and they really enjoy it. Both the members and the Gallery House coming up the road, both of them always look forward to that couple of nights that we have. Now we have we link up with the Tidy Towns, and we have in the springtime we would go out for 2 or 3 nights picking litter. We also go bowling to Castlebar, and we go to the Saints, and we would go to Taylor Park up in County Meath. Now that is an all-day event, and we did that last year and was very successful. We had 17 members went up to that. Now we also have a ball night in Connacht. That would be all the different clubs in Connacht come together. It could be 400 or 500 people. So the girls love dressing up, getting dressed up in the long dresses and the makeup and everything, and they go over to the ball. And also we have a national ball down in Kilkenny. That's a 24-hour day away. Now we would go, and there'd be awards given out to different people for different activities during the year. But when the dinner is over, they're all dressed down, get into their GA jersey and football togs, and dance the night away till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And then you say, where do they go to sleep? They have sleeping bags with them, with blankets and pillows, and they sleep on the ballroom floor. And they wake up then about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we get a packed breakfast, and we get on a bus and head back home. Now, wow. It is a hard night, but look, it's enjoyable, and not one sup of beer or alcohol taken. And people get it hard to believe, like how you have to be there to experience it really and truly. I've gone for the last 5 years with the members.
John, can you tell us, you're selling it as a member? I wish I was in transition here and I could join. But as an adult volunteer with the club, I guess when you're starting off, well, first of all, can you tell us, are you, like, for this year now that's in it, for anybody who's thinking of applying to this, what are they coming to currently with COVID? You know, because obviously a lot of those trips or whatever aren't happening.
Yes, we're well at the moment. We normally meet in the Family Resource Centre. It's a large room upstairs, and we would be talking about maybe hopefully about limited. We do limit the amount of members that come between 20 and 30. So if you have 30 members, you're not going to get the 30 every night. You're going to get probably 20, 25. But that is capable of taking the people even at 2 meters distance above upstairs. Okay. So we have got the space upstairs. Now, for the last 2 years, we were only meeting every second week, which I feel wasn't great, because you weren't, both volunteers and members, we weren't building up that linkage with each other. And so I feel that we are going forward, we have to meet once a week.
And would you require a new volunteer to commit coming once a week, or because there's a few volunteers, would it be that they'd commit to? Well,
we had hoping to have, say, 3 volunteers. What was happening was we could have maybe 4 or 5 volunteers to one night, which there's no need for them. If we have 3 volunteers, is adequate for, say, 20 to 30 people, 1 per 10.
Okay, 1 adult per 10, yeah.
1 in 10.
And the leaders, I presume, are kind of in a supervisory capacity. You know,
yes, supervisory capacity. Yeah. They have their own committee. The members have their own committee, and they come up with ideas what they want to do, and we just basically supervise.
Yes, so there's no big, you're not organising all these trips.
No, they have to organise. The whole responsibility is on their shoulders. When they decide we're going to go to the cinema, they have to find out, well, how much is it, they have to ring around and find out how much the bus is going to be, what expenses is going to be, and bottom line is, like, we do raise funds, but we sort of, we don't pay for everything. They have to pay for, if they were going to the cinema and the bus, well, maybe say it's going to cost us €700 in total. Well, by them raising funds, we might come up with maybe, say, €350. Then you have to pay the rest themselves. So right, you don't give them everything for nothing. Yeah. Everything has to be raised through funds, plus then they have to pay the balance by themselves.
And they do the work themselves. So for the volunteer coming into it, it's really more about being there as a supervisor.
Supervisor capacity, yeah. Now, like I said, each supervisor will go through a leadership training course, and also child protection, and that could be done 1 or 2 nights. And a person will come from the Known Club Association, and they will give us the course. Now that could be at our club, or we might have to go to another club in Mayo, because they might be able to come where you could do maybe 6 or 7 people. So that's the way it's operated. But bottom line is, a new member coming in, it will be more on a supervisory capacity, and for the kids come up with the ideas where they want to go. Now, if we maybe someone has to come up with some ideas that it's not viable to do it, but they have to work it out themselves and find out really and truly, right, it is a great idea, but it's going to cost you $5,000. So can you afford that?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go to Disney in France, but when we went over to the Alton Centre, that cost about $2 or $3,000. But they did like they were nearly 12 months raising funds for that. But they did a lot of fundraising, but they got it. Now is it.
Right.
And,
Great. Does anybody have any questions for John?
And by the way, this is our uniform for the night. It's a green hoodie, and there's, I don't know, somebody can see that there's the logo there, Randy, but we all wear, our outfit is a green and a hoodie, and we encourage all leaders to wear them, and even wear them outside when they're going shopping, because you look at the GAA, they all wear the GAA jersey, proud to wear it. So I know where you're and promoted people see it. And even when the members are right there and they see the leader wearing them, they could come up and say hello to you. You know, they recognise your face, but that is, I find it's great to wear the hoodie. I wear it all the time. You know.
Right. Yeah. Really identifies you. Great. Yeah. Listen, thank you very much, John. That gives a great insight into what you do. Anybody got any questions?
I would like to say the pay is very good.
Can I ask?
I was going to say that John has, they sound like they have a better social life than most of us anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
Brian, go ahead. You were going to ask a question there.
Yeah, I know, John, you'd like to say the pay is good, but it's not. So just wondering what activities are running at the moment then? I know you mentioned
we're not up and running yet,
okay.
Brian. We actually, it's always October before we start, because we let them settle in. They're only getting settled into the transition year, and with the pandemic at the moment, you know, that's, we said we always wait till October anyhow.
Fair enough.
So at the moment, we're sort of in limbo land. We don't know exactly what's happening.
So are there plans, or are there?
We are plans. We are hoping to. We are hoping to get up and run in October.
I know you said to me the other day, John, that because they're all in transition year, they're all together and they're all in the one school. They're all together all day anyway at school in transition year.
Yes, they're all in the one class.
So they think that this will mean that they'll be able to replicate what they're doing in the school. So if they have them in pods, or the wearing masks, whatever, your aim is to really replicate, because they're all in the same class at school, they're already in contact. So your aim is to replicate that in the club. Yes. That's what your aim is for this year. Yeah, so that enables you to maybe go where other youth clubs can't function, because other youth clubs don't have that. You're really working with one class group.
Yeah, like if you're dealing with, say, maybe third year in secondary school, you could have 4 classes in it. And they're going to play in GAA, so you'll have to put them in the different pods in the GAA. Where what we are, there's only one class in the transition year, so they're together all the time.
So you're going to follow whatever protocols the school have.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're hoping that'll be enough. So so you do plan to go ahead. Great. Well, just for the interest of time, we'll move on. If that's okay with everybody. If there's any other burning questions, feel free to type them into the chat. We'll come back to them at the end. But I just want to keep the whole thing moving. So I'm going to ask Mary. Thanks very much, John.
Okay, you're welcome.
Great.